Genuinely can't believe I'm giving all of this away for free in one video. Over the past 3 years, I pulled in tens of millions of views and made thousands of dollars. Not with a face, not with a big budget, just by understanding how YouTube actually works. And in the next hour, I'm handing you literally everything. The niches, the step-by-step process, the strategies, and all the mistakes that cost me over $2,000 so you don't have to pay the same tuition. We're also going live and building channels from scratch right in front of you, click by click, so there is zero guesswork. And by the end, you're going to get a full chapter fixing the silent killers, shadow bans, view jails, and trust score issues that quietly destroy beginner channels in 2026. And if at any point you want to skip the trial and error completely, Faceless Hustlers, my private community, is still open for 3 more spots. But for now, let's start from the top. Before you film a single second, before you pick a voice, before you even think about thumbnails, you need to nail the niche. Because the wrong niche doesn't just slow you down, it wastes months of your life, and in my case, cost me over $2,000 before I even realized what I was doing wrong. So in this chapter, I'm giving you the full picture, how niches actually work on YouTube, which ones to run from immediately, and which ones are quietly printing views and money in 2026. Over the last 3 years, my friends and I tested over 100 YouTube automation niches, and almost 80 of them failed. Some got demonetized, some never passed 1,000 views, and few made less than $2 RPM and cost me thousands of lost dollars. But a small handful exploded. In this video, I'll show you which niches are actually working in 2026 and which ones are silently killing channels. And not only that, later in this video, I reveal a couple of free AI tools that I'm genuinely still surprised people aren't taking advantage of and that I personally use. But before we get into the best niches, I want to quickly tell you which ones you should avoid at all costs. So make sure that you avoid politics, AI news, sports, gaming, health, AI stories, and anime. If I say the reasons as to why you should avoid these, this video will come out way too long. But just know that I'm speaking from personal experience and from other people's experience too. If you get into any of these niches, you're basically shooting yourself in the foot. Now, let's start with the best ones. I'm going to start with my least favorite and work our way up to the best of the best. First, we have compilations. Compilations are when you put clips together and add commentary, and they work really well. For example, the Gordon Ramsay format, where they use clips from Hell's Kitchen with voiceover commentary, or channels that show interview clips from famous interviewers. But I'm putting compilations as my least favorite because you have to be very careful with copyright. You need to structure and edit everything the right way. If you want, comment below and I can make a full breakdown on how to avoid copyright issues. The second niche is history. History content is evergreen. It never dies. Unlike a trendy game or show that fades after a few months, we've seen history channels average $6 to $12 RPM consistently, especially when targeting US audiences. Just like this channel I shared with Faceless Hustler members the other day. This proves that even if hundreds of channels are covering history, you can still win by making unique content in your own style. Focus on quality and the views will come. The third niche on this list is TV shows. I'm saying TV shows are a strong niche because the views these channels get are insane. I've personally run a TV show channel myself, and I know how easy it is to grow here. There are tons of shows you can cover. Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, Peaky Blinders, and more. Just make sure you actually know the show you're covering or have at least watched some of it before. The fourth niche is cartoons. I pick cartoons because they're evergreen and there's huge demand. You've got shows like Clarence, The Amazing World of Gumball, Regular Show, and many more. You can make endless content about them. The only downside is that the RPM might be a bit lower, but it balances out because of the high views this niche can generate. The fifth niche is geography. I've seen channels in this niche blow up fast, and it can become very simple to produce once you use the tools I'll show you shortly. In this niche, you basically talk about countries, interesting facts, comparisons, history, and so on. And finally, the best niche, in my opinion, high quality documentaries. The reason I really like the documentary style channels right now is because you're much safer from demonetization when you're creating real high effort content. Documentary style videos consistently hold 65+% retention when structured correctly. That's what YouTube actually wants in 2026. Most people are chasing the laziest formats possible. A few pictures, a voiceover, captions, and post. That doesn't work like it used to. What works now is putting real effort into quality production. When you do that, you get comments like this. Now, the reason most beginners avoid documentary-style content is because they think it's too complicated to produce. It's not, if you use the right tools. To save time, I personally use Claude AI for script writing, ChatGPT and Grok for ideation, NanoBanana and Runway AI for thumbnails, ElevenLabs for voiceover, and Photopea for thumbnail design, which is a free alternative to Photoshop. If you want to save even more time, I created a completely free package that includes viral sound effects, B-roll for editing, backgrounds, PNGs for thumbnails, and even some secret AI tools that I and Faceless Hustler members use. The link is below to get it for free. In this video, I'm ranking every YouTube automation niche based on the 2026 algorithm. I've uploaded hundreds of videos, gotten tens of millions of views, and made thousands of dollars over the last 3 years. So I've seen what works, what doesn't, and the mistakes that will kill your channel. And today, I'm revealing all of it. First up is AI stories. I'm starting here to make it clear, this BS is dead. The 2026 algorithm no longer monetizes it, which is why I'll put it at F tier and is something you should completely avoid. Next is news and politics, which is another red flag. I'm begging you to avoid this niche at all costs more than literally any other niche on this list. Talking about politics is quite sensitive, especially nowadays, which most of the time can lead your channel getting removed, and that easily puts this niche on the F tier. Next up is the gaming niche. And yeah, I know some of you might not want to hear this, but stay away from gaming, amigos. Stuff like Roblox, Minecraft, Crash Royale, you name it. In these niches, the RPMs are super low because of the low budget audience. And on top of that, the niche is so competitive that you basically need real experience just to break even, which puts it at D tier. And by the way, I talk a lot more inside Faceless Hustlers about the exact methods and secrets I personally use to increase my RPMs to the roof, so the link is below if you're interested. History niche, straight S tier. I love this one because there were endless topics to cover and it will never be crowded. Just make sure you're actually putting effort into the videos, not just letting AI spit stuff out. People notice. Then we got rain and long sleeping videos, which are straight F tier. Don't get it twisted thinking that you're going to print money here. The niche is so crowded that YouTube basically stopped monetizing low effort stuff like that. Rule of thumb, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Same deal with body cam content. This niche has gotten insane, and I think there are over 1,000 channels doing it getting no views. To even make it work, you gotta take new footage from FOIA requests, which takes forever and a ton of knowledge. On the other hand, high quality documentaries are straight S tier. With YouTube cracking down on all the AI garbage channels, the safest move right now is to actually build a proper documentary channel, where you put real time and effort into each video. That's what's going to keep you safe and make money. And these channels are a good example that pulled it off. Another S tier niche is the AI niche, like this channel for example. AI has a bright future, and talking about it is actually super interesting. There are tons of channels taking advantage of it, and it's crazy how much money people are printing just from these. Next is the cartoon niche, which I'd put at A tier. Yeah, it can get a little competitive and the RPMs aren't insane, but this niche is far from dead. There are so many cartoons to cover and really big audiences to target if you do it right. Which brings me to sports. Now, sports might sound good, but I'm putting it at F tier. From my experience, copyright issues are everywhere to the point to where you basically can't monetize, so forget about football highlights or any other sport. Paint explainer, F tier. This niche is honestly crazy just for how many channels are out there doing the same thing. At this point, YouTube will probably start terminating or demonetizing these channels. Most of them use low quality scripts, generic voiceovers, and super lazy editing, so it wouldn't surprise me if they started disappearing. I mean, I tried to do it too before and it got no views. Even ignoring that, the competition is insane to the point where you'll find hundreds of channels struggling to hit 1,000 views. Then we got investigations and unsolved mysteries, which is a solid S tier. I like this niche because you can make really interesting videos around it, and let's be honest, who doesn't love watching investigations and mysteries? Exactly. That's why this niche isn't going anywhere and will keep printing for people who do it the right way. Now that you've seen how I rank and think about niches, the logic behind what makes everything worth your time versus what's a trap, let's make it concrete and show you real examples of successful viral videos. In the last 3 years, I've tested dozens of YouTube automation niches. Some made thousands of dollars, others cost me over $2,000 before I realized they were dead. In 2026, picking the wrong niche could literally end your entire career. So in this video, I'm breaking down 5 niches you should avoid completely, and 5 that are quietly printing money right now. And not only that, later on, I'll expose the exact process I would use to grow one of these niches, which is basically the same system I always use and that you can copy. So let's start with the 5 bad niches. First, we have the why it sucks niche. I'm starting with this one because I personally tried it and lost $2,200 because of it. The reason I don't recommend getting into similar niches is the very high production cost, while the RPM isn't even $3. You might see some channels getting millions of views, but in reality, most of that money goes straight into paying for animation and production. Unless you have a big budget, stay away from these kinds of niches. The second niche is sports. You should avoid this at all costs because of copyright issues. Companies will not let you breathe. One upload gets limited, another gets claimed, and the overall risk is extremely high, especially considering the RPM usually isn't impressive. Next, we have anime. Anime has one of the lowest RPMs I've ever seen. It's simply not worth it. It's already extremely competitive, and unless you're a real anime nerd who understands the audience deeply, it's very hard to win. After that comes gaming, which has a similar issue. Gaming content is mostly watched by kids, and kids don't have strong purchasing power. That means low RPMs, sometimes as low as $1. And finally, the 5th niche on the bad list is AI stories. Out of all the niches out there in the world, this is the one that I would avoid the most. Not only can you get demonetized or even terminated, but it doesn't even get views anymore. YouTube has clearly slowed down pushing low-effort AI story content. It's simply not the meta anymore, especially in 2026. And here's something most people don't realize. YouTube isn't pushing trends anymore. It's rewarding retention and quality content, and killing everything that is slop and lazy. That's why so many called hot niches die within months. If the content doesn't keep people watching longer on the platform, it won't scale, no matter how many videos you upload. I'll show you how that's done later in this video. Now, let's move to the 5 best niches. First, we have space. Space is kind of overlooked, but it has good demand and strong interest that you can still take advantage of. The RPMs are decent, engagement is good, and there are endless topics to cover, even if you don't know that much about space at the beginning. The second niche is architecture. This niche is unique in its own way. For example, this channel has around a $6 RPM and has made over $1,000 last month with just one upload. That's a crazy return on investment. They also managed to hit 1 million views within 2 months of starting. The third niche is TV compilations. I really like this niche. The content is fairly simple to produce, but the revenue can be scary. For example, this channel is consistently making over $5,000 every month by uploading just a few videos. They built the channel around a major show like Dexter, which already has a loyal fan base. You can apply the same idea to other big shows like Breaking Bad, Prison Break, and more. The fourth niche is history. History is one of the most lucrative niches out there. It's safe, evergreen, and full of creative angles. This channel got close to 1 million views just by producing simple history content that can be created relatively quickly using AI tools strategically, and I'll talk more about how to do that in just a bit. And finally, the 5th niche is high-quality investigations. In my opinion, this is the best and safest niche for the 2026 algorithm. It's not low-effort content. You actually put real work into production, and that's exactly what YouTube is rewarding right now. This channel started just 3 months ago. They didn't upload daily, and they didn't create sloppy or trendy content. They focused on well-produced investigation documentaries, and that approach alone brought in over $17,000 in literally 3 months. Now, what is the exact process I personally use to create viral content that gets millions of views and generates thousands of dollars? If I were starting on one of these niches today, here's exactly how I do it. First, I research topics using ChatGPT. Then, I write scripts with the help of Claude AI, and I generate the voiceover using ElevenLabs. I usually hire an editor to save time, but you can absolutely edit yourself when starting out. And finally, I design the thumbnail using Photopea and Nano Banana. These are the tools that I play around with if I were in your shoes as a beginner. I've made tens of thousands of dollars with YouTube automation in the past year, and honestly, one of the biggest reasons it worked was choosing the right niches from the start. So in this video, I'm going to break down 5 YouTube automation niches you can start right now. even if you're a complete beginner, all perfect heading into 2026. Without any more yapping, the first niche is Gordon Ramsay compilations. This channel made over $20,000 in a single month and pulled around 3 million views. All they did was cover moments from Gordon Ramsay's shows. What makes this even better is that they upload about once a week, which is not a lot compared to how much money they are printing. For this niche, the setup is really simple. You can use ElevenLabs for the voiceover, Claude for the scripts, Photopea for thumbnails, and edit the videos yourself in CapCut or Premiere Pro. If you don't want to edit, you can easily hire an editor on Discord or Twitter and have everything done for you. The second niche in this list is TV show compilations. I've seen a lot of channels doing this exact style, and most of them are performing insanely well. For example, this channel focused on talking about Breaking Bad and managed to get over 1 million views with just 12 videos, making more than $5,000 in the process, all with an incredible $8 RPM. But you don't have to copy Breaking Bad specifically. The real opportunity is taking the same format and applying it to other massive shows like Game of Thrones, Peaky Blinders, Stranger Things, and more. That's where the real gold is. If you want, drop a comment below and I can make a full video showing step by step how to enter this niche. Speaking of gold, the next niche is even easier to start with. Because not only did this channel make almost $5,000 last month, but they did it with videos so stupidly simple, literally anyone can make them. You can write the scripts using Claude, then generate a voiceover using ElevenLabs, make a thumbnail using Canva, and lastly, edit the video using CapCut. This easy setup could pretty much get you to where this channel is at without any complex software or anything. Upload once or twice a week, and success isn't that far away. Which brings up to the next and fourth niche on the list, the airplane niche. So this channel started about 3 months ago, and it's already over 3 million views, making almost $8,000 last month. Basically, they found a style that works and doubled down on it, and the views speak for themselves. As for the video creation process, you can always use AI for script writing and voiceovers, and you can also find these clips of airplanes and stuff on YouTube and even Reddit. So this channel proves that you just need to find the format that works, and then you go hard and milk it as much as you can. This next chapter applied the same concept and got them 1 million views with literally videos made on CapCut. So they talk about Vegas legends and casinos, which is a topic highly interesting to Americans. And because it's interesting to Americans, it got them a whopping $9 RPM, which is not usual to happen. I actually was doing the same thing with my channels, and it's one of the reasons that I always get RPMs that can go up to $18, simply because I target the right audience. Now for this channel, they simply just slapped an AI script on ElevenLabs, got a bunch of stock footage, and slapped it on CapCut, and used AI to make the thumbnail. This crazy simple setup made them over $4,000 last month, and they doubled down on the working format. After getting millions of views with my faceless YouTube videos, I decided to reveal 5 niches that are absolutely crushing it in 2026, that anyone can start right now. The fourth and fifth ones are especially simple, and they get even easier using some secret AI tools I will show you by the end of the video. And just so we're clear, I'm not going to show you some low-effort AI niches that never get monetized. These are legit profitable niches you can safely start in 2026. So the first niche in this list is the history niche. This channel uploaded only 3 videos in 4 weeks and already got monetized with over 1.5 million views. The good thing about this channel is that you can get most of the video done using free AI tools. That means Claude AI for the video topics and stories, Kling AI for the clips, and CapCut for the editing. It's this simple setup that got this channel over 20,000 subs. Which brings me to the second niche, AI animated documentaries. So this channel is uploading high quality videos, but most of the editing is easily done through AI. With only 6 videos, they managed to get over 2 million views and made about $3,000 just in their first month. Now, I would lie to you if I told you that these videos are easily made in 5 minutes. They put real effort into creating them, and that effort was a huge part of their success. They use ElevenLabs for the voiceovers, Premiere Pro for editing, and tools like VO3 or Kling AI to generate the B-roll footage. Coming to niche 3, investigation documentaries. Now this is what I like to call a channel that deserves its success. The videos are pretty long, and they are really well made, and that resulted in the channel getting 2.5 million views within 2 months and only 4 videos. For this niche, you can use ElevenLabs for the voiceover, Premiere Pro for the editing, or you can even hire an editor on Discord to do the job for you, and you could use Claude AI to write the scripts. I talk specifically about writing addictive scripts using Claude inside our community, and it truly saves me and the people working with me hours of their time. And just last month alone, this channel made over $4,000, and you can imagine how much they could be making in a few more months from now. Now, even if this channel got low views, niches like this could print like crazy because of their high RPMs. This is one of the many methods I covered inside Faceless Hustlers, my private community that always gets me high as fuck RPMs on my videos. And that brings me to the fourth niche in our list, and it's another history channel. With only 9 uploads, this channel's got over 500,000 views, but the cool part is that their videos are so easy to make, any beginner could get started. The editing doesn't require that much experience, so it can be done with CapCut, and the ideation and scripting can be written using Claude. And lastly, the voiceover could be generated using ElevenLabs. The fifth niche in our list is yet another simple and easy channel in the space niche. This channel started uploading last month and they're already getting almost 1 million views. I can't think of a better start for a fresh channel. The channel covers topics surrounding space, and you could easily replicate something like that with a little bit of research using ChatGPT and writing using Claude. And as for the thumbnails, you can use Canva or Photopea to make ones identical to these or even better. Though I want to say that knowing these niches alone is not what's going to get you success like these channels. It's the behind the scenes of the scripts, what you do, how you set up your channels, and the trust score process that enables you to handle view jails and monetize. This is the chapter most YouTube courses charge hundreds of dollars for, and you're watching it for free right now. I'm going live and building channels from scratch, click by click, so there is zero confusion about what the actual process looks like. Then I'm breaking down real success stories from inside Faceless Hustlers. These simple paint explainer videos are getting millions of views with the most basic editing on YouTube. Some of these channels are pulling hundreds of thousands of views per video. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to copy this format from start to finish using free AI tools. But the crazy part is, most of these videos take less than 2 hours to make. Some of these videos hit 500,000 views with less than 30 minutes of editing. And not only that, by the end of this video, I'll show you how these channels manage to get higher RPMs than normal, which allows them to make sometimes double the money of a typical channel. Most channels never talk about this part, even though it massively affects how much money you make. And once you understand this, you'll start noticing it on almost every viral explainer channel. But before we start building the video, there's one mistake almost every beginner makes in this niche. They pick topics that nobody is actually searching for. So we already know the style of the niche, but we need to decide what topics we're actually going to cover. And when picking topics, you should follow 2 simple rules. First, don't copy topics that have already been done. If a channel already made a video about something, you shouldn't just repeat the exact same idea. Most of the time, that video already captured the demand. Second, the topic needs to be interesting to a large group of people, and I'll show you a simple trick later that almost guarantees that your topic will have demand. You can't make explainers about some ultra niche thing that only 5 people on Earth care about, but there's actually one more factor that's even more important if you want to make serious money in this niche. Your topics should appeal mainly to Americans and older audiences. Just doing this alone can increase your RPM from $2 to $5 or even $10+. The reason is simple. Advertisers pay more for audiences with higher purchasing power. Older viewers are far more likely to buy products and click on ads, which makes them extremely valuable for advertisers. The same goes for location. If most of your viewers are from low-spending countries, your RPM will naturally be lower. This is actually one of the first concepts I teach my students inside the Faceless Hustlers community. So ideally, you want to target viewers from the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia. Now the good news is that almost any topic can work in this explainer format, but instead of brainstorming forever, we can just let AI do the work for us. So use the prompt you'll find in the step-by-step document on my Discord, paste it into ChatGPT, and it'll generate dozens of topic ideas instantly. Then all you have to do is pick one, and you're ready for the next step. Go back to the document and copy the next prompt. Paste it into ChatGPT, then fill in your niche and type the topics you want to cover right here, and click Generate. Within a few seconds, ChatGPT will give you a list of video ideas, and some of these ideas are honestly better than what most creators come up with manually. From there, simply pick one idea and move on to the next step. Again, you're not going to manually write anything because we're going to be using Claude AI for the script. Just make sure you use this prompt. Write your video idea right here, then let the tool do its thing. In just a few seconds, the tool will be back with this script, and all you need to do now is copy it onto a new Google document and start making some simple changes to make sure it does sound good. Remove any weird or overly complex sentences. Make sure the script flows naturally when read out loud. But there's actually one small trick channels use that massively increases watch time, and I'll show you that when we get to the editing step. Go to ElevenLabs, browse through the voices, and pick the one that you like the most. But there's one small thing most people overlook when choosing a voice. Try not to pick one of these super popular voices that thousands of channels are already using. If your voice sounds identical to hundreds of other automation channels, YouTube's system can sometimes treat your content as less unique. Instead, choose a voice that sounds natural but isn't overused. That alone can help your videos feel more original to the algorithm and can actually improve how often they get recommended. Then make sure your settings match these right here. Paste in your script and generate the voiceover. Let's start with the visuals. These channels usually follow a very simple format. White background with PNG elements moving around the screen. This is easily done with 2 steps. First, we prepare the visuals and PNGs on Canva, and then we edit them on a video using CapCut. So head to the step-by-step document and run this prompt that will allow you to generate these types of visuals that you're going to use in the intro. Then paste it into ChatGPT and don't forget to add your topic in there. After that, go to Google and search up for PNGs that are related to your script. So for example, I'm going to search for this and paste it into Canva. Repeat this until you have all the visuals ready, like I did here. Once everything is ready, open CapCut and start a new project. But there's actually one small editing trick these channels use that massively increases watch time. And once you notice it, you'll start seeing it everywhere. Import all the assets you prepared and drag them into the timeline. The first thing you want to do is to trim the dead spaces in the voiceover so there are no slow or boring parts. Next, we'll add the zoom effect that most of these channels use in their intros. Go to the first image, add a keyframe, and then slowly zoom in on the image like this. And this is what it should look like. Now, all you have to do is match the visuals with what the voiceover is saying, and repeat that process for the entire video. Finally, add sound effects from the free sound effects pack in my Discord, enable auto-generated captions, and your video is done. This is what the final result looks like. Now, the next part is extremely important, because thumbnails are the difference between a video getting 5,000 views or 500,000. Go back to the step-by-step document and copy the thumbnail prompt, then paste it in the ChatGPT. From there, simply choose how many elements you want in the thumbnail, add your video topic, and specify the objects you want the thumbnail to include. Once everything is filled in, click Generate. Within seconds, ChatGPT will give you a thumbnail like this. So, now you know how to make a full video from A to Z. But the real question is, how do you actually get views and make money from it? Because if you don't know how YouTube's trust score system works, your channel can easily get stuck with low reach, low trust score, or even what people call a shadow ban. And the biggest mistake that keeps most automation channels stuck under 1,000 views is something I'll cover in another video. If you ever searched how to make money online, you've probably seen a bunch of scams. People selling you courses, or methods that take 8 hours a day. So I'm not a genius, I'm not a guru trying to sell you his course, and I definitely didn't figure out some secret hack. I was literally working in a factory for $1,000 a month, hating my life, until I stumbled into this weird AI business model. Somehow, that weird little side hustle has made me over $63,000 so far. And I didn't spend 8 hours a day grinding, and I didn't buy anyone's $997 course. So in this video, I'm gonna break down what this AI business model is, how I started it with zero special skills, and how you can try it yourself if you want to escape doing work you hate just like I did. Let's cut the BS and get straight into what this business model is. So what I'm talking about here is something I like to call faceless AI YouTube automation channels. Now, if you heard of YouTube automation before, no, this isn't the same old automation you're probably thinking of. What we're doing is leveraging AI tools to handle about 80% of the work. That means creating content faster, easier, and with less effort. Basically, turning it into a money printing machine. And yes, this method method is fully monetizable. I'm not talking about low-effort AI spam that gets demonetized. These are proper faceless videos built with AI in a way that's optimized to make you the most money possible. You upload them, they get views, and once the views come in, you get paid. For example, one of my most viral videos on a faceless channel pulled in over 2.8 million views and made me more than 19,000 euros. And the craziest part here is that it only took me a couple hours to make it. And it's not just that one video. Other videos on the same channel consistently make me thousands of dollars with just a fraction of the work. By the way, I'm not revealing my channel right now since I'm still using it in some profitable niches I don't want exposed, but I'm not making stuff up. It's just so you get that I know what I'm talking about. So let me show you an example of another channel that uses this exact method perfectly to get a clear picture of what I mean. So this channel right here made over $8,000 just last month, and what's insane is that it only started about a month ago. They used AI for the voiceover, ChatGPT for the script writing, and some other AI tools I'll show you all in this video. Getting almost 2 million views in 30 days is some crazy work, and if you can get even close to the results like this channel, you'll be making some pretty good money. So now that you got a clear idea of what this business model looks like, let me break it down step by step, from finding your niche all the way to creating the actual videos, even if you're starting with zero experience. Without any more yapping, to get started, the first step is finding the right niche. When I first started YouTube automation, I was posting videos in random niches, and for some reason, I was barely getting any views. But once I learned this one thing about finding a winning niche, everything changed. Here's how it works. When you're picking a niche, you want to find one where new channels are getting a ton of views, even if they barely have any subscribers. That means that the niche isn't oversaturated and there's still a lot of demand on it. Look at this channel for example. It just started 2 months ago and already got 3 million views, which is insane for a new channel to pull off. But how do you even find that niche to begin with? Let me show you a method I like to call the incognito method. It's a super simple way to find hidden niches that most people never come across, and all you really need is a fresh incognito tab. So first, open an incognito window and head to YouTube. The homepage is going to look empty like this. So to fill it up, just search for any faceless niche you already know, which gets YouTube to start suggesting more faceless channels to you, as you'll see in a second. After you do that, simply watch a few videos for a couple of minutes, then refresh the homepage. As you can see now, it's filled with faceless videos and new niches you can check out one by one. So after scrolling for a bit and digging into these channels, I found this channel that's getting a good amount of views, and they only started a month ago. This is a perfect niche to work with as an example for this video, and I'm going to show you all the steps for the content creation part that basically works for any niche you pick. So once that's done, now you're ready for the next step, which is generating topics for that niche. So this video right here has got over 2.6 million views, and that was all because of the topic I chose for it. Now don't worry, you don't have to figure this out on your own, because with just ChatGPT, you can come up with some really strong topics to get started for your niche. To make things even easier, I put together a step-by-step document where you'll find the exact prompt I used to generate topics for my niche. All you need to do is to open the document, copy the first prompt, and paste it into the new ChatGPT chat. Then fill in the blanks with your niche and a few popular topics in it, and hit generate. Once you do that, you have a list of potential topics. So just go through them and pick out the one that you want to start with. After that, it's time to write the script for that thing. This step is super simple since ChatGPT is going to do all the work for us. So go back to the document, copy the next prompt, and paste it into the chat. After that, fill in the blank with your topic like this. And one more important step is to copy and paste your competitor's script right here. Don't worry, it's simple because using the Next Level extension, you can just copy it like this and paste it in. Then hit generate. As you can see, we now have a complete script that's ready for the next step, and that is giving it a sexy voiceover. For this part, you don't have to worry about recording the voiceover yourself, because even if your voice isn't that good, you can still generate voiceovers that sound very human and realistic using this AI tool called ElevenLabs. So once you log into ElevenLabs, the first thing you want to do is to click on the Voices tab in the top left corner. That's where you'll find a whole list of voices you can play around with, and click on any one of them to hear how they sound. You can find good voices like that, but for me, I just like to use the filters tool instead. So I'm going to set it to a British accent and make sure it's a young man. But most importantly, make sure to choose high quality voices, because these are the ones that sound so realistic, even my 10-year-old brother won't tell if it's AI. So once your filters are set, scroll through the results till you find a voice you like. When you do, just click on Use Voice right here. Now all that's left is to paste your script into the box. Click Generate, then download the final voiceover. And just like that, you got your voiceover ready, which means now it's time to edit the actual video. Now for this step, you can either save time and hire someone else to edit the videos for you, or you can do it yourself if you're broke. What I did was hired a guy I found on Discord to edit the videos for me, and it worked out great. But if you don't have the money and you've got time instead, you can just use CapCut to edit it yourself. It's free, it's easy to use, and most importantly, it's beginner friendly. I'm not going to go too deep and show you how to edit the entire thing right now, but if you want a full tutorial on how to edit videos for a niche like this, Just let me know in the comments. Now let's move on to the last step, and probably the one that almost nobody gets right, the thumbnail of your video. This part is super important because even if you have the best video in the world, if your thumbnail is trash, you're just not going to get views or go viral. But when you do have a great thumbnail, this is what happens. So let me walk you through how I'd make a thumbnail for this niche using Canva. First, head over to Canva, start a new design, and click on YouTube thumbnail right here. The first thing we're going to do is generate the image using ChatGPT, just like this channel does. I'm just going to copy the prompt from the document and paste it into the chat, and then I'll get something like this. Now copy and paste that into your design and make sure to resize it so it fits. To add text, click the text tab, choose add heading, and write something interesting that complements your title just like this. Make it pop by changing the font to something bold and clean, and add a black border around it just like this. Once everything looks good, click download as a PNG, and there you go. You now have a fully made video from A to Z. Now I'm not going to sit here and make some bold claims like you hear from every guru out there, like you'll be making tens of thousands of dollars in your very first month with some easy side hustle. What I will tell you is this: if you actually put in the time and effort with the method I just showed you, making anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 a month within your first 3 months is definitely possible. So now let me break it down for you, some of the success stories from inside Faceless Hustlers and my own wins, so that you know the exact strategies used to grow and monetize these channels in real time. I blew up this channel from 0 all the way to monetization with only 5 uploads in less than 3 weeks, doing most of the work using AI tools. So in this video, I'm going to expose the exact process I use, not just for this channel, but to monetize several other channels, as well as make me over $70,000 last year. And by the end, I'm going to reveal every single AI tool that was used so you can take advantage of them too. Now first, and most importantly, is the niche. The harsh truth is, I couldn't have done this with a bad niche. So here's how you can tell if a niche is actually good or not. The first thing you need to do is look at new channels that are trying out that niche and check whether they're getting good, consistent views. Like this niche, for example. If I search up this title and filter it to show only new videos, I'll find a bunch of new channels struggling to break past 1,000 views, which tells me that this niche is basically dead and doesn't have much room to grow. Secondly, you have to look at the big channels within that niche and check if their latest videos are getting good, consistent views. Now, I can't go very in depth about how to find these winning niches and the exact process I used every time that made me over $70,000 last year, but if that's something you are interested in, you might want to join Faceless Hustlers below. Anyway, after the niche comes the video creation process, and this part is so important because when done right, it can literally blow up your channel and get you comments like this. So the process in short looks like this. You do topic research using ChatGPT, and by studying the big channels in your niche. Then you write the scripts with the help of Claude, use ElevenLabs to create a clean AI voiceover, edit the video using CapCut or Premiere Pro, and finish it off with a clean thumbnail made in Canva or Photopea. Now that's if you're doing everything yourself. You can outsource the editing or script writing to freelancers if you're not good enough at those tasks. And you can find people like this on platforms such as Discord and X. When it comes to this channel specifically, it took me only 5 uploads to hit monetization, which is not usual for most channels, so don't ever get discouraged if you don't see results that fast. And if you want to see the exact click-by-click process of me building Faceless channels live and showing you everything I do, check out my full free 1-hour course, which has literally everything you need. I got this YouTube automation channel monetized in less than 2 months, and today I'm breaking down exactly how I did it from start to finish. And instead of feeding you the usual BS, I'm giving you the exact knowledge and behind the scenes secrets that help me monetize fast and lock in a massive $8 RPM with an insanely strong demographic. It's the same formula that made my other Faceless channels over $40,000 and keep my other channels generating thousands every single month. So when I say I know what works, I really mean it. And no, I'm not going to show you some kind of AI slop niches that get banned from YouTube that these gurus keep making tutorials about. What I'm going to show you is legit, and was, and will keep working for years. So how the fuck do I keep monetizing these channels so fast? Well, it mostly comes down to picking viral winning faceless automated niches. Let's just be honest for a second here. You're not going to grow your channel with those garbage niches that these gurus make tutorials about. Like literally, it's just trash, boring content that'll get you banned before you're even monetized. So just my personal advice, stay away from those kind of niches. What you can do instead is use what I like to call the incognito method to find niches. Basically, it's a way to mine for gold niches without YouTube recommending stuff based on your own searches. And with it, you can find some really fresh and viral YouTube automation channels pretty fast. I'm going to break down how this method works in detail in just a minute, but let's move on for now. And by the way, there are definitely other methods to find niches, but I'm not going to go over those here. Shameless plug, but I talk about them in Faceless Hustlers, my private community. So after picking the niche comes the video creation process. If you check my video uploads here, you see that I was very consistent with them, and that was actually intentional. I prepared all the videos I need in advance and uploaded them consistently. YouTube hates when you upload randomly, so when I was consistent with my content, YouTube said, this guy is serious about this, which makes his content worth pushing more, and they did. Now, when it comes to the actual video creation process, I basically use ChatGPT to generate video ideas and scripts, ElevenLabs for a clean voiceover, and CapCut for the editing. And for the packaging, I just use ChatGPT for the titles and Photopea to make thumbnails, which is a free version of Photoshop. So when I say this business model requires no capital at all, I mean it. You can get most of the work done using free AI tools, and do the rest by working your ass off. And that's basically it. And because I was strategic with my niche picking, I made sure to choose a niche that attracts premium, high-quality viewers, and that resulted in a massive RPM. Now, actually wasn't the first time I got RPMs this high. Older audiences from wealthy countries naturally increase your RPM because advertisers bid more for them, and that's exactly why my RPM shot up so fast. As if that wasn't enough, let me now share with you years of experience and the sauce in 2 more videos where I break down exactly what I learned in 1 year doing YouTube automation and also how much YouTube paid me. About 2 years ago, I quit my job hoping to make some money online with YouTube automation. And that single decision completely flipped my life upside down. In this video, I'm going to reveal everything I did during that period that allowed me to get tens of millions of views and make over $70,000 with YouTube automation. And not only that, by the end of this video, I'm going to share a secret so powerful that allowed me to monetize multiple channels working only 2 hours a day, coming from someone who used to fail exams. Now, before I discovered YouTube, I was trying out different side hustles, but nothing really worked. I tried drop shipping, selling ebooks, affiliate marketing, and almost everything else you could think of. And after all that, I ended up making $5 in total. So when I tried YouTube automation, I honestly expected the same thing to happen. Except this time, I got shocked by the results. When I first started YouTube, I wasn't serious at all. I uploaded some random AI-made videos, a couple of shorts, and just hoped something would happen. And it stayed like that until my 3rd try, when I finally decided to put real time and real money into it. That's when I did deep niche research and found a niche that was booming at the time. It was the woke niche. After that, I took my savings and hired an editor and a writer to handle the videos for me, while I focused on uploading and scaling. Long story short, that channel ended up making me over $45,000. From there, I scaled it into multiple channels, monetized many of them, and started making thousands upon thousands of dollars. At that point, it became a repeatable game. Now, some people might say this was luck, and I don't blame them. I'm not claiming to be an expert at this at all. I don't drive a Lambo, I don't wake up at 4 a.m., but I do believe that there are a few key things that made all of this possible. The first one was leveraging tasks to talented people. If I did everything myself, editing, writing scripts, making thumbnails, it would take ages just to get one video out. So instead, I invested some money up front. And it paid off, growing my channel from 0 to 5 figures. Then I used the money I made from AdSense to fund more videos and grow my channels, and the return on investment was insane. I'm talking about putting $100 into a video and seeing it make a couple $1,000s, sometimes even $20,000. So yeah, if you want to make money, you have to invest money. It's not magic. And this is actually something I talk a lot inside Faceless Hustlers, my private community. But even that won't work without this one thing. And that one thing is finding actual winning niches that have the potential to print. The way you do that is by looking at new channels entering a niche and checking if they're getting good views. At the same time, you look at big channels and see if they're still getting consistent views on their latest uploads. If both are happening, that niche is worth testing. Now obviously, it wasn't just these 2 things that allowed me to scale my channels to over $70,000 last year. There's a lot more to it. And there's no way I can fit everything I do to make YouTube automation work in a 3-minute video. That's why I uploaded a full, free 1-hour course where I break down everything I do to build viral faceless channels, from niche selection to full video production process, and even how to apply this system to different niches. This video almost never got uploaded. The first 24 hours, it barely moved. I thought it was gonna flop, but then something happened. Within 72 hours, it crossed 500,000 views, and today it's sitting at 2.9 million views from a completely faceless channel. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how much YouTube paid me for it, but more importantly, what I did differently to make it blow up, because it wasn't luck. It was 3 specific decisions, and step 3 is the one that almost nobody talks about. So today I'm going to expose the entire strategy I used to make it go viral, and several others as well, and how they ended up printing me thousands of dollars. And not just that, but I'll also break down the 2 secrets as to why I was able to get such a hard RPM of $7, which is considered above average. But before I explain the 3 steps, you need to understand something. I've chosen the wrong niche before, and it completely killed a channel I thought would take off. And if I didn't learn this lesson, this 2.9 million video would have never happened. Let me show you what happened when I ignored this rule. I uploaded 17 videos in a trendy niche, but then it barely got 8,000 views, and the RPM was only $2.11. That's when I realized views don't matter if the niche is wrong. And here's something most people won't tell you. The YouTube algorithm doesn't care about your channel. It cares about session time. If your video doesn't make people keep watching YouTube after it ends, it won't scale, no matter how good it is. That's why niche selection is so important, and you have to keep that in mind. Now, the strategy I followed consists of 3 very important steps that rely on each other, and the first one is avoiding the bad niches. Usually in the first step, I would tell you to pick a viral niche, but as of the 2026 algorithm, picking the wrong niche could basically mean you'll never succeed at YouTube automation. I've made a whole video talking about bad niches, but briefly, avoid getting into politics, health, celebrity drama, gaming, sports, news, and AI stories. Just by doing this, you're already ahead of most beginners who are just starting out. But to actually make this work, you have to pick a winning viral niche that also has the RPM potential to print you money consistently. And that is step 2. The truth is, I couldn't have got over 2.9 million views on a single YouTube video and tens of millions across my channels if I didn't pick winning niches. And more important than that, I wouldn't be making as much money as I'm about to show you. There are a lot of methods to find viral niches. For example, you can open an incognito tab, go to YouTube, and search for any faceless content. Then start watching that content for about 5 minutes. After that, when you go back to the home page, YouTube will automatically start recommending similar faceless content and channels that you can check out and possibly model. But obviously, this isn't the only method out there, and it's still time consuming. So if you want to avoid the pain of searching for hours or even days trying to find a good niche, I share over 50 niches every single month inside my private community, Faceless Hustlers, that you can pick from. That way, you can skip the headache and start creating content immediately. The link is below for more information. Now, the last step is the content creation part, and this is the step that can either make or break your entire faceless channel. But here's what actually made this video explode. It wasn't the tools, it was the first 30 seconds. I structured the intro to create tension immediately. Most faceless channels lose 40% of viewers in the first minute because they waste time. I didn't, and that single decision massively boosted average watch time, which pushed the algorithm to recommend it harder. But why was I able to get $7 RPM on this video, which is considered above average, and even $9 and $18 on other videos? Well, it comes down to 2 things. First, the audience age. My video was mainly interesting to people between 30 and 60 years old, and that's a huge reason why the RPM was higher. Older audiences usually have more spending power, which means they are more likely to buy when ads are shown on your videos. That ultimately makes you and YouTube more money. But the second, and even more important factor, is the country. The United States is hands down the #1 country you should target with your videos. After that comes the UK, Canada, Australia, and Germany. These countries have high purchasing power compared to many others. So, if you combine these factors and create videos that attract this type of audience, you're going to get very high RPMs. And crazy enough, even with 2.9 million views, this video could have made half of what it did, if I had targeted the wrong audience. So when I opened my AdSense to check the final number, I honestly thought it was a glitch. I refreshed the page twice, because that single video made me $19,376. From one long-form upload, And the even crazier part is that wasn't even my highest RPM video. I've had smaller videos make more than per 1,000 views simply because of how they were positioned, and that's a completely different strategy most people ignore that I also share inside my community. Here's something I see constantly. Someone builds a channel, uploads a few videos, gets no views, and immediately says they're shadow banned. And 9 times out of 10, they're not shadow banned. They're just making avoidable mistakes that signal to YouTube not to push their content. In this chapter, I'm showing you exactly what those mistakes are, how the algorithm and trust score system actually work, and how to make sure that YouTube treats your channel like an asset worth promoting. I've made tens of thousands of dollars with YouTube automation this past year, and it wasn't luck or some recycled strategy everyone's using. It was because I follow strategic frameworks and systems that literally nobody talks about. Systems that actually made these results possible. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how you can start with YouTube automation in 2026, revealing secrets about the new algorithm that no one else is sharing. I'll show you how to get started and get real results like this. But more importantly, I'll show you how to adapt to the new YouTube algorithm so you can avoid the critical mistakes most beginners make that prevent them from seeing success. Before we dive in though, there are a few key things about the algorithm I'd wish I'd known a year ago. Things that will keep your channel in a safe spot from day one. You've probably seen those AI story channels and low effort videos, and maybe you even like them. But here's the trap. These are exactly the niches you need to completely avoid. I actually made this mistake early on. I got into the wrong niches and it cost me big time. So let me save you months of your life. Stay away from risky niches like AI stories, celebrity news, politics, health, and any sort of clickbait content. Avoiding these niches protects you from getting shadow banned, stuck at a view jail, or worse, terminated. Most people get into these niches and wonder why they aren't getting views or making money from YouTube. So now you know. Now the next step is understanding how the new algorithm actually works and what it really wants. Because once you know this, you'll understand exactly what you need in order to go viral. Here's the simple truth. YouTube wants viewers to stay on the platform as long as possible. People stay longer on YouTube means they watch more ads, which means more money for YouTube. It's a simple equation, yet most people miss it. Once you understand this, your job becomes clear. Keep people watching on YouTube as long as possible through your content. Give YouTube what it wants, and it will give you what you want, views and money. So how do you create content that keeps people on the platform and gets you those views and that money? That brings us to the next step, actually building your YouTube automation channel the right way. It's kind of a long process, but I'm going to explain it to you in under a minute. First, you got to find a niche that actually gets views and makes money. To do that, just open an incognito tab and start searching for some popular faceless YouTube automation channels. YouTube will then start suggesting you more viral ones automatically. Next, come up with video ideas using ChatGPT and by checking what big channels in your niche are posting. Then, write your script with the help of AI, generate a voiceover with ElevenLabs, or record the voiceover yourself, and edit using a free software like CapCut or even Premiere Pro. But you're not done yet. Open Canva, make a clean thumbnail similar to your competitors, and use ChatGPT to come up with good title variations. So these are the steps that need to be taken in short in order to make a faceless YouTube video in no matter what niche. Just repeat this process and you'll be able to upload 1 to 3 times a week. 99% of people doing YouTube automation make these mistakes, and that's exactly why they end up shadow banned, stuck in 0 views jail, or even worse, terminated. In the past year alone, I made tens of thousands of dollars with YouTube automation with multiple channels, and in this video, I'm exposing the exact mistakes and actions that stop most beginners from ever seeing success with this new algorithm. I honestly wish I had a video like this a year ago, back when one of my own channels got terminated. But since you're watching this right now, you're already ahead of most people. So without any more yapping, let's get into the first and biggest mistake you must completely avoid: getting into the wrong niches. I've seen so many people on Twitter get banned or wiped overnight just because they jumped into high-risk niches without knowing the consequences. I'm talking about niches like AI stories, politics, news, wars, celebrity drama, health, and pretty much any extreme clickbait niche. These niches might look easy, they might look profitable, but they're also the fastest way to lose your channel if you don't know exactly what you're doing. Another huge mistake I see beginners make is watching their own videos in hopes of pushing their views. I used to do this back in the day too, and let me be clear, it does absolutely nothing for your channel except buck it up. What this actually does is signal to YouTube that there's suspicious activity happening, and that can easily lead to limited distribution, a shadow ban, or your videos just never getting pushed again. But honestly, that's not even the scariest part. The thing that causes most channels to get terminated is when people don't know YouTube's rules and policies. People jump into YouTube automation completely blind. They reuse content, use copyrighted clips, copyrighted music, or misleading thumbnails without even realizing they are violating serious rules. And YouTube doesn't warn you nicely. One day your channel is fine, the next day it's gone. So now that you understand what you exactly need to avoid, how do you create content that gets you views and makes you money? Your YouTube videos aren't stuck at 1K views because the algorithm hates you. They're stuck because of a few mistakes you're making, and I'm going to break them down in this video. Over the past 2 years, I've uploaded hundreds of faceless videos, pulled in millions of views, and made tens of thousands of dollars doing it. And let me tell you this clearly, there is no such thing as view jail. In this video, I'll show you exactly why this happens and what you need to change to break past it. And to top it off, at the end, I'll share one resource so powerful it helped me get 3 million views on a single video and tens of millions of views with my faceless channels. So make sure you watch until the end. So now there are 3 main reasons as to why your videos get stuck at 0 or 1K view jail. Reason number 1 is that YouTube doesn't trust your account yet. Think about it this way. The YouTube algorithm operates on a guilty until proven innocent approach. When you first start uploading, the platform assumes you might be a bot, spammer, or low-quality creator. Over time, as you upload consistently without breaking rules, YouTube starts confirming that you're a real human who plays by the rules. And once that trust is built, your videos start getting pushed more and more. Reason number 2, your niche is simply not a good niche. You can tell if a niche is good or not by seeing if new channels trying that niche are getting a good amount of views. And also, you need to look at the big channels to see if they're getting good, consistent views on their latest videos. I talk a lot about how to find 5-figure niches inside Faceless Hustlers, along with a huge library of them. So if you're struggling with this step, you might be interested in joining. Shameless plug. Reason number 3, not letting the channel cook itself. This is by far the most common mistake beginners make. They upload 2 or 3 videos, get no views, and immediately tell you they're shadow banned. You cannot tell with 2 or 3 uploads. That's not how it works. So please, for the love of God, upload at least 10 videos before judging anything about your account. Only then do you have enough data to know what's actually going on. So now that you understand why videos get stuck in view jail, let's talk about how to fix it and actually break out of it. First, you have to stay away from risky, sloppy niches. And by that, I mean niches like AI stories, celebrity drama, politics, and any clickbaity niche. Next, stop acting like a bot. Seriously, there are a lot of people who just log into YouTube, upload a video, then hop off and continue their day. Spend some time watching some videos, liking and commenting on stuff so you show YouTube you're a real human, just don't overdo it. But even that isn't enough if you mess up one thing, and that one thing is making sure your videos don't suck. Most people who say they're shadow banned are just posting sloppy, low quality videos and then wondering why nobody watches. Before anything else, you have to get good at the game of creating content that grabs attention and actually keeps people watching. If you want to save yourself from the headache of uploading videos but getting no views, not knowing if a niche is actually going to work for you or not, shadow ban, view jails, low trust score, low impressions, then the fastest way if you want to solve that is by getting it from someone who's done it before, made thousands of dollars doing it. So the link is below to save your spot for Faceless Hustlers, but just know that we're going to increase the price as soon as 4 more members join, so that we can keep the quality of the community high. We've already gotten great results inside, and we can't wait to have you in. Pablo was here.